What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Doctor Who episode review. So, if you have watched my previous reviews from the past week's episodes, you will know that I've absolutely loved this season so far. So, welcome. If you're new, please do drop a subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video. And also, please do click those bell buttons to get that notification. So, welcome, people, to this Doctor Who review. So I've said in my previous videos that I absolutely love this season and I prefer it when Doctor Who is actually going to the future and actually in space, which is, in my opinion, some of the most intriguing parts of Doctor Who. And really, this is a show about space and time, and really I kind of find it a bit disappointing when they're not off-world. But the Doctor cannot actually go off-world due to the fact he's got the Master down there in the vault, which Nardole is increasingly getting irate with the Doctor because the Doctor just seems to do whatever the hell he wants, and everyone else be damned. So this was a really, really good episode, in my opinion. It was strong. It had a very, very big political message, obviously showing that capitalism is just not, it doesn't have the best interests at heart for humanity, to be honest. And I loved the fact that really the way to actually take on and survive this whole mess was to prove that, well, if they died, it would cost the company more money. And I was kind of hoping that they would have like an Aliens style story where they'd have a company man on the mission as well, and they would all kind of get pissed off with him and that, but they didn't. I thought that was a bit lame. They didn't really follow on with this. It was literally just carrying on and not exploring the ramifications of what any of this actually means. Granted, it is a lot to do in a 40-minute episode, but I think that it started off pretty well. I think we're going to the future, and it was a very, very clever way to do a zombie story, but not actually have zombies. So what they've got here is they've got suits that are powered by, well, they have suits that have humans in them, but they're powering them and just using them as absolute just meat and just as drones because, well, oxygen is just too expensive to use on a workforce when they're mining something, like they mentioned, as cheap as copper ore, which is a very interesting Red Dwarf reference there, because the Red Dwarf crew were mining copper ore. We also had Ganymede in there as well, which was featured in an episode of Red Dwarf as well. So very interesting Red Dwarf references abound there. So a pretty cool episode, I think, overall. And I think this is what Doctor Who does at its best. Once it's got action, it's fast-paced. I think that this is my favourite parts of Doctor Who, is when it's humans being terrible and the Doctor has to really save them and show that, well, being this kind of evil is not the best way to be. I think the acting in this episode was just superb. And I kind of think that maybe they could have got away with this episode being a simple horror story like last week's episode. I think if they did that and they just had one human guiding them across the ship, I think that would have worked really well as well. But the end product here did actually end pretty well. I think they did a great job in this episode by upping the ante. And I think that Stephen Moffat has got, he seems to really have improved this season in his script writing. I think that he's not having these overly complicated storylines like we've had in previous seasons. And it just seems to be a simple week by week story, which I'm kind of shocked with myself that I'm actually enjoying. The only overarching story mystery we have is the vault, which is pretty much all but confirmed that it is the Master inside it. Now, interestingly, in the promo trailer for next week's episode, we see Missy at the end as they go and help with a Vatican story there. Not sure what's going to happen there. That looks pretty interesting. I recognise the hands that come out. If you watch The Flash, you will notice that they look like the Time Wraiths from The Flash Season 2 and, well, been featured in Season 3 as well. So let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what you thought of this episode. I thought it was really just a lot of fun, to be honest. It seemed like they had some great sets. The set design was great. And they seem to have got away with having a very interesting story, a gripping story, a story which could have actually been fleshed out into an entire movie or an entire Christmas special, which is a big compliment, to be honest. I actually want to see more of this episode. I've been very interested, intrigued if this was a Christmas special or if it was like the specials they had between 2008 and 2010, like The Waters of Mars. I thought that would be really cool if they could have. I would have not minded at all if this was one of them. But we've got some other episodes coming up. Of course, the mystery remains of the Master and the fact that our Doctor is blind. So it's not looking good for him whatsoever. But the Doctor is as powerful as he is, I think, even if he is blind. So I'd still be scared of him if I was his enemy, if he was blind, to be honest. But he doesn't want anyone to know he's blind or weak at all, because they could be coming for him. So what I thought was interesting in the promo next week as well, he has River's notebook as well. So nice little touch there. So that's it for this video. Please do drop a like. Please do subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.